Okay, we play against an unknown player, and we play a 2-minute game with 12 seconds extra time each move. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to find opponents for 5 minutes when you're not playing on the weekend. And I play a French defense now, and he chooses to play the exchange variation, which sometimes is a bit boring. Let's see how the game develops. Sometimes white plays this set up just to make a draw against better opponents, but I mean, he doesn't know how strong we are as well, so we don't know who is a better player. I will just develop my pieces, and I'm not sure if I really want to castle long. And he just threatened to take my bishop on f5 because I can't take back. My queen would be hanging. Now my rook has a semi-open h-file. I think I will castle long. Maybe I play f6 later, but I need to take care about the square e6. It might get weak. He just threatened to take here on d5. It's a bit dangerous to castle long if you have played already as a pawn on c7, but the bishop here on d6 protects this diagonal. White might get in trouble sooner or later because I maybe play something like f6, g5, g4, breaking up the position. I think I just have enough time to castle long now. He could have played, if he like I don't know, if he goes back queen d3, threatening to take here or here with the queen later on. There are some threats, but I think now I'm really happy with my position. Yeah, this is much too slow. I mean, it just castle long now. And the question is how to proceed with the attack. g5, g4 looks good. Or knight f5 first. g4 is already annoying for white. Though, although white started with a very cautious setup, we are now in a position where opposite castling took place, and the position became rather sharp. And now white locked the queen side himself. I mean, what does he want to do now? He needs to play something like b4 and b5 to open at least some lines for the rooks, but it will be very difficult. I can just take the pawn here. I'm not afraid because this b6 pawn is well protected by this pawn, the knight and the queen, so no danger. So he needs to play something like rook b1 first, b4, b5, but maybe I just play c5. And I'm very quick now playing g4. What does he want to do? Can also play, if he moves the knight to d2 rook h4, the other rook to h8. This will get very strong, I think. Again, I threatened to play g4 as well. I couldn't play it now because of queen g4, so I needed to play rook h4. But this rook is not that good at the moment, so I want to double up now. Okay. So we are a step further. When he now plays something and I play rook h4, knight f3, I will play rook h5. The rook is now protected by the other rook. And then I can play maybe f5 and g4 or f4. I think I'm really quick now. You will see it. I just hope that white plays quick enough that we see the end of the game. And yeah, this is not a good move. I think white just ran out of ideas. He didn't know what to do, and now he will get serious problems due to this h file. What does he want to do now? If he takes, it's simply a mate, rook h1. If he doesn't take, I mean, I just take here with a pawn. He needs to play g3 maybe, but then I would just sacrifice. I think this is already game over. Okay, now I threaten to take here on g2, but now I just, as I said before, I will just sacrifice, and this is a mate. If he takes back, queen g3 check, and doesn't matter where the king goes. On g2 there's a mate.
Check.
Yeah, and I also simply forgot that we play like 12 seconds increment. This is why I never play it.
Checkmate.
So what went wrong in this game from White's perspective? I think he was better. His position was slightly better throughout the opening. But here I'm not sure if he really is if he should take on g6. He destroys my pawn structure, yeah, but this rook might get strong, like it happened in the game. It's good to take on g6 if I already castled, but I didn't. And maybe he just could play something like knight c3 now and develop the pieces, but it's not a mistake. And yeah, now he already threatens here to take, so c6. I'm not sure about castling short. He already opened this file for my rook, so it gets yeah, dangerous for him if he castles short. Could also maybe try to play something like queen d7 and sacrifice here a rook later on, and his king can't feel comfortable on the king side because this rook is already in the game. So I think he should play something like queen d2 and then castle long. And he's better. He's slightly better in the position. I'm not sure if I played here correct because I don't have enough time to castle. So this is yeah, this is the problem. I needed to be a bit quicker to castle, so my opening play was not good in my view. Here white is simply better, and f6, I'm not really happy about it. But what should I do? If I play something like queen c7, he might also play queen e2, and there's a lot of pressure on this knight here. And after f6 I have problems with this square here on e6, but also with g6. So he might, I mean, what happens if a queen comes to g6? It's terrible, terrible for me. He might even play something like queen d3 maybe. And if I take here, he can just play queen g g6 with a check, and this bishop is hanging as well. Here already, I think white has a lot of play. Why? Because I didn't castle. But here, I think the strategy of white is wrong. He castled short, so he invited me to attack on the king's side. And the message from this game, I think, is on one hand, okay, I made the mistake that I didn't castle quick enough. But white, I think it was more serious here. He castled short and invited me to attack, and I mean, he is much slower than me, and you can already see what will happen, and it happened in the game. I threatened to play g4 later on, and I want to open the whole file for my rooks, and that's what happened. I made this. He made my life easy, yeah. But I could also I play rook h5. If he plays knight f3, I play rook rook h4, and then rook h5, and sooner or later I play g4 or f5 and g4 or f4. So I'm very quick here on the king side. There's, I think, very little likelihood that white can survive this, and the reason is he castled short. He wanted to make a sharp game by this, but I already had the open h file, and so this was not good. Don't castle into a strong attack, and that's what, or into a potentially strong attack, and that's what white did.